just kind of starts it off. Hello and welcome to episode 5. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of... Why can't I speak? Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the This Nanny Knits podcast. My name is Lucy and today is Tuesday the 27th of July 2021. I am a few days late in recording. I normally try and get this done at the weekend, but the weekend ran away with me, and so here we are on a Tuesday recording. Apologies for the weird lighting I've got going on. I can't get in a good position, so this is as good as it's gonna get, so I apologise. Welcome to any new viewers that have found me. It is nice to have you here, and welcome back to anyone who has visited my previous podcasts. It's nice to have you. A couple of things about YouTube. I have a massive apology to make because it was brought to my attention yesterday that YouTube had put in a gazillion adverts in my podcasts and I had no idea. I'm an amateur when it comes to YouTube, let's be honest. This has all been a bit of a learning curve for me. So when I became eligible to put ads on my videos, I selected to put one at the beginning, and I thought, do you know what? I'll come back and I'll learn about what it is I need to do and where I need to put things, and there's a whole side of YouTube for creators with videos, and you know. So my plan was to just have one at the beginning and then learn what I needed to do for the rest. But somehow YouTube took control, and I think there was one every like 5 minutes on most of the episodes. So I have rectified that now, but I apologise to anyone that was really annoyed by that. I would find that really frustrating too. So I have sorted it for now, and I will be better at double checking. And secondly, another YouTube thing, I get notifications when people have commented or liked or subscribed and all of that. And a couple of the comments seem to have vanished. So I click on the notification and it says, you know, such and such a person has commented on video 4 or whatever. And it takes me to that video and then I cannot find the comment. So I don't know if you've later deleted the comment or whether YouTube is just playing up. But if I haven't replied to you, I'm so sorry. I do try and like and comment back to you on all of the comments. It is becoming a bit more delayed as there are now so many of them, but I am trying my best to dedicate that time to really interact with you guys because I really love to do that. Yeah, thanks for that, YouTube. It's really not very helpful. So let's get started. Where you can find me on Instagram as This Nanny Knits, and also on Ravelry, obviously here on YouTube, and my email address, which I will pop below for anybody that wants to email me. I'm not sure what about, but you never know. You might want to. So let's get started. I have a few things to talk about and I'm going to try to keep it short because I find that it's getting lengthier and lengthier and I'm just waffling on. So let's get started with whips. I have only one to show you because I've got 2 sock whips that I haven't touched, to be honest. I've really been trying to focus on getting other things out and off my needles, and I'm getting there, so bear with. The first one is in my hohie bag, and it is, let me just get it out. Sorry, I should have been way more organised than this. It's been one of those days. I've been running around all morning. I am making the Feldspar Tea by Herb Garden Knitwear on Instagram. The lady's name is Hannah. I will pop her details on the screen for you to see. And now currently I understand that this looks like a skirt. But it is not. It is a top. It is constructed from bottom up, and I think I've got a little way to go. I've got one more of these pearl bump rows and then a few rows before I then split for front and back. So it's done in the round and then split front and back and done back and forth. So I have seen quite a few of these being made on Instagram, and I just automatically knew that it was something that I would want to make and wear. And so far it is stunning. It's really hard to show you, and actually what I might do is putting some clips of it laid down flat for you to see, because it's probably easier. But it's got this lovely kind of eyelet row along the bottom, and then I believe they're also on the shoulder. So I am making this in the Sandnes yarn, I think. It's not line, because I pronounce this Linné. I can't remember, somebody did tell me that I did pronounce it right, but typically British of me, I'm just going to call it line for ease. But it's made up of 53% cotton, 33% viscose and 14% linen, and it is incredibly soft. It doesn't have a colourway. I guess it's kind of true to colour. It's quite a deep kind of mustardy, ochre-y colour. But it is colour number 2146. So I believe all of these are done by numbers instead of colourways. So I have used, what have I used so far? Yeah, I wonder if I'm going to have enough actually. I should do. This is my third ball. I think that's right, third. And to here, and then I'll split for front and back. I mean, it's quite cropped, so I probably will have enough, I think, because I've got one extra, one more. I did work out the meterage, and it did equate to 4 of these, so fingers crossed that is correct. I am knitting these on 4mm needles, Coboo, just in the round with a little addy stopper, just because it's in my bag and then I can't lose anything. It's all where it should be. So yes, that is the feldspar tee. I'm loving it so far, and it's actually, I do quite like a bottom-up construction. I mean, I like both because I do really like a yoke too, but it's really soft, it's really drapey, and I just think it's going to be a real good summer wear. Although I'm not sure if our summer is over here in the UK, but there'll be some warmer days, I'm sure. It probably won't be brilliant sunshine, but that is that one. And if you follow the hashtag, or go and look at the hashtag feldspar tee, you'll see quite a few of them being made. I think Anastasia from Free Your Sheep has made hers in a lovely pink colour, I did see. I'll maybe put a picture in or link it below to show you, because that is really nice. Oh, I just put some lip balm on, and I think I've got fibres on me. Anyway, that is my only whip, other than my socks that, like I say, I've made no progress. Pretty pointless showing you. So I do have finished objects this week though, which I didn't have any of. I say this week, I didn't have any 2 weeks ago. One I'm wearing, as you can see. I have finally finished the Anker's summer shirt by Petite Knit. I have got to say I loved this knit. Loved it. I love the finished garment. I love the yarn. There's literally, I probably wouldn't change anything about it. I did see the other day in the local craft store here, or one of the local craft stores here, that they had this Coboo in a really nice pink and also kind of like a navy, and I did really maybe want to make another one in a different colour, but I didn't buy the yarn because I do have a few things that are ready to cast on, which I will share with you in a little bit. But anyway, I'm waffling. The Anker's tee, so I will put in some clips here for you to see because it's quite hard from this angle, but I just love the ribbing, and I've made it a little bit cropped. You can't see because I'm too short. I have to go right up on my tiptoes, but I'll insert some footage here. Love it, to be honest. Really love it. Did I keep? Yes. So I made this with the Lion Brand Coboo purely because I had some in stash, and it's not the recommended yarn, but I had seen a few projects before the Anker summer shirt and people had used Coboo, so, and they looked really nice, so I thought I would give it a go. So this Coboo is 51% cotton and 49% rayon from bamboo, and it is super soft, and I don't normally buy and use a lot of commercial based yarns, or yeah, I just don't, because it's not my preference. I just love the colours of hand dyed, but I do really like this one. This is in the colour silver too. Really good knit. 4mm needles. I did crop it slightly, only because that's my preference and I didn't want it long. Well, I didn't really crop it, like there's no midriff showing when I wear it or anything, but I think I did write it down somewhere and I can't remember where. That's not very good, is it? I'll put it in here when I find my notebook. I don't know where that is. I did make it a bit shorter. I can't remember if it was 9 centimetres or a few inches. I can't remember. I'll let you know. So yes, thoroughly recommend this make. I haven't actually worn it all day. I've been out and about doing jobs, but I put it on specifically for the podcast. It does say in the pattern, which I didn't realise until I got to the end, to put some elastic in the neckline to basically like keep it that shape, I guess. The more you wear it, obviously, the more it could stretch out. Has anyone done that? If you've made this shirt, did you put the elastic in? I'm a bit lazy, to be honest, and I don't really want to, because it just seems like an extra step. I'm now like, well, it's made. I just want to wear it. I don't want to have to do anything else to it. But obviously, if it's advisable, and if any of you have made it and would advise doing it, then I'll go the extra step and do it. But just wondered if it was necessary, really. I quite like the way it sits. This turned out really good after blocking. It was a bit higgledy-piggledy before blocking, and some of the stitches were all a bit skew-with, but it blocked beautifully. And yeah, it's got a good bit of room in it. I probably could have sized down, but I'm pretty happy with this. My mum really loves this one. She saw it when I was knitting it at her house a couple of weeks ago now. And it's such a simple make. I think even she could make it. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. She's not a knitter. She wants to learn to knit, but she can purl, but she's pretty confident in just knitting. But I think if she could master the purl, this would be a really simple make, actually. We could make one together. It's quite a nice idea. I might suggest that to her. Our local Hobbycraft have the yarn, so I might suggest that to her and do a little make along with Mum. That'll be fun. So that's finished object number 1, and I have one other finished object to show you. Can you guess what it is? If you follow me on Instagram, you will already know. And a few people have asked me for pictures, and I'm sorry, I still haven't got them. I plan to go and get them today. It's been really hot here, and I just haven't wanted to put it on because it's all blocked beautifully and clean, and I just have felt like a big sweaty mess from the heat. Unusually, we've had like 30-degree weather here in the UK. That's 30 degrees Celsius, so I don't even know what that is, 100 maybe Fahrenheit? I'm not sure. We work in Celsius. So, my test knit, it's done. Dun, dun, dun. It's going to be really hard to show you on camera. So what I will do is insert some footage here. And lay it out and show you. It has even got the chevron details. My lighting today here. The chevron details in the sleeves, and then I love this kind of garter ridge that just sets it really nicely. And then obviously the same on the other one. And then the bottom of the cardigan, I just love it. I really do. And I'm so pleased with the colour choice. You've got this kind of collar band. collar band really, is it? But you know what I mean. Band that goes down the front. And after my big mistake, which if you've seen my previous episodes, you will hear all about, yeah, it was a really enjoyable knit. I was a bit like, I'm so annoyed at myself that I've made this mistake and I've got to rip back so much. But it worked out in the end and it is beautiful. It has got a slightly fitted sleeve. I did these, when I knit it to about here, kind of bracelet length, because I did think it would block out a bit, and it has actually. So it is now kind of standard wrist length on the sleeves, and again with the length of it, I did shorten it slightly. So this, I should have said, is the Cascading Chevrons Cardigan by Indecisive Crafter, which is Amanda. I was test knitting this for her and it's due by the end of July. Last week I had it finished but had no sleeves. I managed to zoom through the sleeves because they're so easy, so quick to do. Yes, I'm not sure when the pattern release is, but obviously I will share that with you when I do know. I know that our information on the test knit has to be in by the end of July, so yeah, I'll share with you once it's all done. But I'm super pleased with this. I think it's going to be a real good staple in my wardrobe for the autumn winter, particularly for work. And I'm actually thinking I might make one in grey. I don't know what it is at the moment. Once I've made something, I'm like, I just want to make it again. But I'm a bit of a selfish knitter. I don't really want to make it for anyone else. I just want to make more for myself so that I've got... I just think when you find a pattern that you love and it fits well, the fit on it is so good for me. I just want one in every colour because I know that I'll just use it so much. So watch this space. I think one in black would be beautiful, but I'm not up for knitting on black yarn, to be honest. Have I knit with black yarn before? I think I've crocheted with it and it's been okay, but I do know I have knit with like a navy blue yarn, and I do know from experience that darker yarns can be a bit trickier. Just to see really what you're doing. We'll see. Watch this space, see what happens. I might end up making another. So for that, apologies because I'm going to repeat myself a little bit for anyone that's not been here, but I used the Hobbycraft homegrown DK weight yarn in the colourway. That's a good question. I think it was just plum. I don't have the ball band, but I will share that with you. From the yardage and everything that Amanda gave us, I estimated I would need 6 balls, so 600 grams, and actually I didn't need that much at all, but that's fine because I've just got some left over for another project. So I believe I used a teeny tiny bit of this. So I've got one whole cake, a teeny tiny bit of that one, and then a smidgen. I don't know how I ended up with a smidgen. I think it was left over from the body or a sleeve or something. So thought I did pretty well with that. I'm loving the colour. Look at that colour. That is so true to colour as well on screen. So I need to find something to make with those now because I only have 2. But I'm sure I will find something. If not, I can just go in the stash, right? So they are my whips and finished objects. Sorry, I keep fiddling with my sunglasses. I have this hair issue today, so even though it's not that sunny here in the UK, it's still quite warm and it's a bit grey and it's a bit rainy, and I came out of the gym earlier, had washed my hair in the gym. I came out, put my sunglasses on, then as soon as I went inside, put them on my head, and now my hair's just kind of like gone a little bit crazy. I feel like Monica from Friends. Here I am on my little Friends. I promise I'm not sponsored by Friends. You know when they go to, where do they go? Oh my goodness, Barbados, Jamaica, somewhere. And her hair goes really frizzy and a bit wild. I mean, mine's not too bad, but it is definitely a little bit more frizzy than it needs to be. It's the humidity. So I am clipping it out of my face with my glasses, but I keep fiddling with them because they feel like they're going to fall off. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. I am rambling again. Let's have a bit of water. That will stop me rambling. So I've got some future cast-ons planned. I'm going to reward myself after finishing 2 objects. And that's the point, right? Once you've finished knitting, you need to make more. But what I'll do is I think I'll go through my yarn mail with you, because a lot of it is in there, and then I can explain what I'm going to make with it. So I had some bad news on a house yesterday that we were looking at, and I was sulking, pretty badly sulking. We really liked it. It was probably the first house we've seen that we've both been like, yes, we can envision living here, let's put an offer in, blah blah blah. Anyway, long story short, we didn't get the house, so I was sulking and decided to buy myself some yarn to cheer myself up, because that's what I do. So I've got my acquisition basket, which, if you didn't know from the last episode, is from IKEA. Nice and easy. So I've got a few things in here that I will share with you. Well, I'll share all the things in here with you. My first acquisition was inspired by Laura of the Knitting Pickle podcast. I always have to say that really carefully. The Knitting Pickle. Excuse me. I saw a while back on one of her episodes that she made the ranunculus, and she made it in the most stunning yarn I think I've ever seen. I just loved it. And then obviously she had a little bit of a mishap with her ranunculus, and I was so sad for her. I was like, oh no. I thought she dealt with it wonderfully, but I have been wanting to make the ranunculus. It's been highly recommended in comments of previous podcasts when I've asked about summer knits, and I just think it's such a versatile one because you can customize it to yourself, right? You can make it longer or shorter, or short sleeves or long sleeves, and you know, different yarns, you're going to get different effects. So I'm sorry, Laura, I did copy you slightly, but I had to. I love it so much. And so yesterday when I was sulking, I thought, I'm just going to do it. I've been looking at this yarn for a while. I know it will look beautiful because Laura made it, and I'm ordering it. So I ordered this yarn yesterday at, I don't know, 9 AM maybe, and it got here today. How incredible is that? Like, it wasn't through our normal postal service, it was from a courier. But given that the postage was free, it came the next day. And it came from Devon, and it's like a 3.5 hour drive from me. I thought that was amazing. And so I'm going to give them a massive shout out anyway. But this is from John Arbon Textiles in Linton in Devon. Look at it. Isn't it stunning? Now, as I said when I made my rocket tee, I don't really choose blues, but I am going through a real blue phase right now. This is on their Devonian base. Think, Lucy, don't skip ahead. This is on their Devonian base. No, Devonia base. Oh God. It's a 4-ply, and it is 50% Exmoor Blueface, 30% Blueface Leicester, and 20% Wensleydale. So it's 100% Devon wool. And 100 grams, which is one of these, is 388 meters. 388 meters, and it is in the colour Ocean Rain. And I got 2 because it's beautiful. I know people have commented and said you can get a ranunculus out of 1 skein, but I wasn't sure because of the meterage. So I just decided to get 2 in case, because if all else fails, I'll just use it for something else because it's stunning and I love it. So I was super happy with that, and really pleased that it came so quickly. So I was able to get over my sad morning yesterday. While I was on the John Arbon website, when I went to check out, it said, did you want to add one of the annuals to your shopping basket? I was like, well, of course I do. Now I have to admit, I haven't looked at this yet because I've literally opened the package and then come straight on here to podcast with you guys. But I have looked in here on their website previously, because my aunt lives down in Devon and in North Devon, and I hadn't heard of them before, but when I was searching for kind of wool shops in Devon when I was last down visiting her, they popped up and they do meal tours, which I thought would be so fun. They weren't doing them at the time because of coronavirus and everything going on, but so they were kind of doing like an online tour and an online shop. But I think next time I drive down to Devon, I'm definitely going to book myself a space, because I would just find that so interesting to go around the mill and see how it's done and how they dye it. And yeah, it's kind of got like a picture in here of like a cartooned picture of the mill and how it works, and I just find all of that fascinating. It's a bit like, you know, shopping local and finding out where your food comes from or whatever. I'm the same with yarn. And I have to admit, they had so many different bases and so many beautiful colours that I definitely think I will be ordering from them again. So do go and check them out. I'll link them down below. So next time you see this yarn, one of them at least will be part of a ranunculus, I believe. That's my plan anyway. I must swatch, Lucy, must swatch. Future Lucy, note to self, swatch your yarn, because I'm really bad at doing that. I need to make more of an effort. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is going to be my Friends Club yarn, which is Ross. So if you have ordered, sorry, I'm down here just retrieving all the yarn. If you have ordered the Friends subscription from Castleview Yarns and you do not want to see the Ross colourways, then please feel free to turn me off or skip forward, because I just want to share a couple of them really quickly. I'm getting these every month, and I believe there's Chandler left. I believe he's the next one. And then I believe they're going to make more based around Friends, but obviously all the characters will have been covered already. So I'm going to show them. Look away now if you don't want to see. I have got this beautiful one, which is Ross's leather pants. Oh my goodness, that episode. I do love that one. What else have I got here? Pivot. That's exactly going to be me and my husband when we try and move. Pivot. Get really angry with one another, I can see it already. Unagi, which is a good one because I love it's kind of like dark reds and purplies, probably more red to be fair. Anyway, I'm not going to show you the other two because I don't want to totally spoil it for everybody, but here they are. Friends Yarn Club, so they are going to go in my friend's bag with the other characters until I know what I'm going to do with them, because I still have no idea. I've had a lot of suggestions, and I definitely think it might be a blanket of some sorts, but I just don't know which one because there are so many that people have suggested. I really like, okay, so I know a few people have suggested the jelly roll blanket, and a few people have suggested, I should have written these down, is it the pentagon blanket? There are another couple that people have suggested, which I will link below for you to see, because I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I just want to pick the perfect pattern, and I don't know what that will be until I have them all here, because I'm also considering, like, do I make the blanket in order of the characters? Do I do all 5 Ross and then all 5 Rachel and then all 5 Monica, or do I just jumble them all up and put them in some kind of colour palette order? I'm not sure. I don't know yet. You'll see one day. Okay, next. This also arrived yesterday, which was really good timing for the podcast, are my Peter Rabbit yarn subscription, just my mini skeins. These are dyed by Yarn for the Soul. I have mentioned them before. Links will be down below as always. And I thought it was really cute because you get like a snippet of the story every time you get mini skeins. So it's a monthly subscription. I get 2 mini skeins a month, and it tells you a little bit of the story that the colourway is based around. And this month's is called Lucy. It's about a little girl named Lucy who lives on a farm called Littletown. I won't read it all to you, but gosh, I haven't read those books since I was a child. I mean, maybe I didn't even read them. Maybe they were read to me. That's how long ago it was. But they are definitely very me because they are pink. Oh, I dropped one. There's me trying to hold them so you can see them both. They're similar by the because they're the same colour pink, but this one's variegated and it's got some creams and some purples, and then this one still quite variegated. It's got some darker bits and some lighter bits, but definitely more of a solid than a variegated. So those two will go into my blanket bag, of which a blanket I haven't touched. I'm going to say it here right now. I'm really going to make a conscious effort every Sunday to only knit on Scrappy Sunday projects, because I haven't touched them in so long and the yarn is just piling up, and I do obviously want to make the blankets and I do want to get somewhere with them. So I'm saying it here because it holds me accountable, and it did with the cardigan when I said that I was going to have it done by a certain time. So I'm going to work on Scrappy projects on Sunday, and then maybe I can show you a few squares that I have done over the next couple of weeks. Okay, I've got a couple more things to show you. I'm going to have a sip of my drink and then we'll get to it. Okay, these ones are very exciting. I got these this morning. So this morning I wanted to pop to my local yarn store. Well, I wanted to pop there yesterday, but I didn't realise they were closed on Mondays. I'm normally at work, so I don't get the opportunity to go during the week, so I didn't realise they were closed. So the minute they were open, I went this morning, like you do. Okay, let's take these out. So I've got some stitch markers. Now, some of this is for the giveaway, which I'll talk about in a little while. But let me show you. So these are made, oh, that's handy. This is my local-ish yarn store. It's called Yarn Fest, and it's in Hermitage, which is a little village just outside of Newbury, if anybody knows. A lady called Sue and a man called Stuart run it, and yeah, they make these little stitch markers and sell them in the shop. So let me just turn them, oh, I've got them around the wrong way. These are going to be as part of the giveaway. I just thought it'd be really nice to have something local to be able to share with my giveaway winner, and hopefully they'll be new to them. So we've got a sweater being knit on some needles. We've got a little handmade one, a little hand that says handmade. We've got a yarn ball and needles. We've got a little heart that says made with love, and then a sheep, and then an owl. They did have quite a few different ones, but I really like these because they were knitting related, except the owl, I guess, but knitting related, wool, sheep. Thought they were quite sweet, and I got them with the, was it a lobster clasp, so that you could use it for knitting or crochet. They did have them with just the rings, that you could use them as a stitch marker, but then that does leave out crocheters, and of course crocheters are welcome here too and are welcome to take part in the giveaway. So some stitch markers. Okay, I didn't go for yarn for myself, but obviously I ended up buying yarn for myself. So there is a local dyer who I've spoken about before. I used her yarn to make my rocket tea. So the company is called Skein Queen, and it's hand dyed here. I don't think she lives that far from the yarn store actually, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure she's not too far. And every month she has a pop-up shop at this yarn store. So this yarn store mostly sells commercial based yarn and needles and things that you would find probably in another craft store. There is, other than the stitch markers and this yarn that I'm holding, it's mostly commercial that you probably could find in other yarn stores. But once a month, Skein Queen does a pop-up shop there, and although I support Skein Queen and I do shop on her website, it's really nice to go along and see the colours in real life and touch them and feel the different bases, because recently she's put a few new bases on her website. Yeah, so I thought, you know what, I'm too impatient to wait for shipping too. I'm just going to go there and I'm going to see what they have. So for myself, which I didn't need, but I do have something in mind for, I chose this. Mostly bare with a little bit of colour hidden throughout. This is on her crush base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and this is called Fairy Dust. So for 100 grams you get 425 meters, and it's obviously a, well, it's not obviously, but it is a 4-ply fingering weight yarn. I have a sock pattern in mind for these. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. Actually, I've got two things that I kind of want to do with these. I guess it just depends. I probably could do both because they're both shorty pairs of socks. So one, there's a sock pattern by Johi Locatelli, and it's a shorty sock pattern. I want to say it's called Flying something, but I can't remember. I'll link it down below. And it's done in, she's done hers in bare yarn, and they look beautiful. But I kind of wanted something bare with a little bit of something. Does that make sense? I'm not really a bare yarn kind of girl. So this really spoke out to me. And also a couple of my knitting friends are making a sock pattern, which this would look really beautiful in. I want to say it's called Larkspur. Again. Sorry guys, I'll put it down below. But that's number one. And then while I was there, I really wanted to get something for the giveaway, because again, I wanted to get something local to me that somebody else would like. I think it's just nice, isn't it, to get something that you can't necessarily readily get yourself. I mean, unless you're local to me or in the UK, then I guess you could. But I know there are quite a few people that watch from overseas, so I thought it would be quite nice to give them the opportunity to win something from the UK, should they be the winner. There were lots and lots and lots of different options there, and it was really hard for me to decide, particularly because I was picking up all the pinks, but I'm very much aware that not everybody is a pink person, and this probably won't suit everybody, but I'm hoping that the winner will like it. This is a beautiful bluey, greeny, slight purpley skein. It is the same crush base, so 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and you get 425 meters again for the skein, and it's the colourway Lighthouse. Sorry, it's not skein, is it? It's skein. Somebody did tell me that. I'm in such a habit of saying skein, because that's how I say it, us British people would say it, but the lady that was telling me that it should be skein was actually from the UK too, so who knows. So I apologise that I have pronounced that incorrectly quite a lot of times, but it's habit for me. I find it really hard to get out of. So this is going to be part of our giveaway along with the stitch markers, and I do have a couple of other things on the way, so I won't show you the full package until it is here, which will be next time. Okay, that's all my acquisitions. I think that's enough acquisitions for one episode. I probably won't have so many next time because I go through fits and spurts. I mean, I don't need any more yarn, and I am trying not to buy too much because I know it's yarn and it's light and it doesn't take up much space, but what with the house move, who knows, I probably should not buy more yarn. Okay, next, podcast recommendations. I haven't watched too many, and I know so many of you that I've been speaking to in the comments have a podcast, and I'm sorry I haven't got round to viewing many of them yet. I do have a list and I am working my way through them, particularly this week. That is my aim. But there are 2 that I would like to shout out today, and then I'm hoping that I'll be able to do maybe a couple each time, because otherwise I'm just going to run out of podcasts and not have anyone to shout out to. So the first one that I have watched is Woolly Witchcraft. It's hosted by a lady called Brogan. I believe she lives in Scotland, and yeah, I've only watched one of her episodes, but I really enjoyed watching and listening. I find it fascinating watching podcasts with listening to other people's accents on podcasts. Gosh, words have run away with me today. Yeah, I just really enjoy it. So definitely head over and check out Woolly Witchcraft. I believe also, I think I saw on Instagram yesterday, she released maybe it's her first knitting pattern? I'm not sure, but she did release a knitting pattern yesterday, and it's a shawl and it's beautiful. Really, really beautiful. So please go over and check her out. And the one other that I've been watching, and I haven't written down the lady's name, so I apologise, but it is Breaking Yarn. Really, really fun podcast. I love that the lady is a dyer, she dyes yarn, and just getting to see her projects with her colours. Really love it. And I loved her backdrop where she's got some of her hanks hanging up. I'm so sorry I didn't write down your name. That's really bad of me. I will pop it here. But yeah, really lovely to just find a new podcast, sit and listen, and that's just my thing. That's just what I love to do. I love to listen to new ones. So please go over and check both of them out, send them some love, tell them I've sent you. That would be awesome. So the giveaway, let's just get to the nitty-gritty bit that everybody wants to know about. I'm literally so shocked and slightly bashful about it, because last time when I podcasted, let me check my notes here. Did I even write it down? Surely it wasn't 668. I don't know. I've got 668 written down here, but I don't know if that's something else. That might not have been subscribers. Okay, anyway, last time I podcasted, I was close to getting 1,000 subscribers. And for me, doing this podcast hasn't been about subscribers and likes and comments. It's just something that I've wanted to do, to interact with new people, make new knitting friends. But I was so excited last time that I was so close. I was like, oh my goodness, like I cannot believe that there is 1,000 people, or almost 1,000 people out there listening to me rabbit on about my knitting, like little old me. And I thought, oh, we probably won't even make 1,000 subscribers next episode, but when we do, we'll do a little giveaway. And honestly, I feel so shy about it. I'm so bashful, and I don't understand why. I'm so thankful to each and every one of you, because I think now we have 1.6k followers on YouTube, which blows my mind. For once, I have no words, and it's amazing. So thank you all so much for supporting me, even if I have put a gazillion ads in some of my videos by mistake. I do hope that you enjoy the ones that do not have a gazillion ads. So we're going to do it was a 1k giveaway, but now I guess it's like a 1.5k giveaway on this episode. So I've got the yarn and the stitch markers, but there is more to come. So if you would like to enter this giveaway to win those prizes, all you need to do is comment down below. Could be anything. You could just write how your day's been, or what you're working on, or whatever you want to write down below. Just leave a comment. I will randomly pick one of you with an auto generator, and I will announce you in the next podcast. So that is in a couple of weeks. I'm literally gobsmacked. I can't believe that we're there already, and it makes me quite excited for what's to come. So thank you all. Other than that, I don't think I've got a lot to talk about this week. I guess in life there's been house stuff, which isn't exciting, and I'm not going to share with you because nothing's really happening. I will share when we do have some news, and it is exciting, but right now it's just a bit disappointing to be honest. I have this week off work, which is lovely. I have managed to get a real good bit of knitting done yesterday. So obviously it's only Tuesday, but yesterday I sat on Zoom and knitted with some friends for way too long, really. I was meant to podcast yesterday, but I got carried away. And yeah, it was just really nice to see them. I don't normally get to see them midweek because I'm at work, but lovely to catch up and see everybody. So other than that, not a lot is happening this week. Knitting and more knitting is my plan. Casting on. I do have a project that I found in the depths of the cupboard. I have a yarn stash here, and then I have a cupboard in our hallway, which I have quite a lot of yarn in plastic totes stacked up, which is kind of my, well, I don't really know what yarn it is. It's some of it's from before when I kind of first started knitting, and it's fine yarn, but it's not my preference of yarn now. But I've kept it because A, it might be something that I make winter hats out of. I might do some charity knitting for the winter. Mum might want some to practice her knitting or whatever. I don't like to throw things away that are valuable and that could be of use to somebody. So I have kept them. What was my point? Oh yeah, in that cupboard I found a project that I started last March. So last March, obviously everything happened with the pandemic and I didn't work for 2 months, maybe 3. I think it was March, April, May. I think I went back in June. It was for a while. Anyway, I wasn't working, I was at home, I was knitting. I wanted to progress in my knitting, so I decided to do a brioche shawl, of which I started. It had some kind of mosaic knitting in it too, and when I went back to work it ended up going in the cupboard. It wasn't finished and I've kind of fallen out of love with it, if I'm honest. So I have frogged it. I now, right here, have the yarn, and it's actually really special yarn because I purchased this yarn at Stephen and Penelope in Amsterdam with my sister last March. We were in Amsterdam for her birthday as a girls' weekend, and we were due to fly home on the Monday, and the Sunday pandemic hit, and we honestly thought we were going to be stranded in Amsterdam. We weren't. We managed to get home, but it was a bit of a scramble. We were due home on the Monday. Everything closed down on Sunday. We couldn't go anywhere for food. We couldn't do any shopping. We were meant to be going to Anne Frank house. We didn't get to do any of that. So this is pretty much one of the only memories I have from that weekend. No, we do have others, but I have this beautiful, beautiful yarn that was part of this project, and I want to cake it rather than have it in a ball, actually. That is on my list of jobs to do. This is by Undercover Otter. I have all the tags. I was very impressed with myself. I left it all in the project bag, which is the Stephen and Penelope bag because I had to buy one of those. So yeah, this is Undercover Otter and it is called Street Trash. It's an 80/20 and it's 400 meters. So I had this, and then I had this blue, and then I had, oh my goodness, it's in a big old tangle. Hold on, bear with me, thank you. And I had this yellow. So I was making something quite bright and quite colourful, but now I have no idea what to make with these. I do have a bit more than this. They're in separate balls because I had to separate it for different parts, and I think there's even a couple more little scraps down there of them, but I should tell you what this yarn is, shouldn't I? Because this wasn't from Stephen and Penelope. This yarn was something I ordered online, I think from Lovecraft. So the blue, well, they both are actually. They're Ella Ray Lace Merino, superwash, 420 meters per 100 grams, 100% wool, and is just a number. LM68 is this blue, very bright. And then I've kind of got this goldeny yellow colour, which is, what did that say? Yeah, must be the colour, LM63. And it's the same, 100% wool, 420 meters. So if anyone has any suggestions for this very bright yarn, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. It might be that it ends up a square and a stripe on my blankets, and then maybe I keep them for contrasting heels, toes and cuffs, maybe on socks. But this isn't really something I would, yellow's not really my colour. Well, I don't think. It's not really something I would pick to use on its own. I only used it because it kind of went well with those yarns, and it was similar colours to the pattern that I was originally making. So yeah, if anyone has any suggestions for that, I'm sorry, I really waffled there, that would be greatly appreciated. So I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. I've waffled on for 50 odd minutes so far, and that's probably enough for anyone. I have loved sitting down and chatting with you, as always. Please do comment below. Remember, that will enter you for the giveaway, and I would love to chat to you down there. Please head on over to Instagram. That's where I am probably most active and share most things. Not a great deal, what with work and things, but I do try to share a fair amount over there. So have a great day, stay safe, take care, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye!